Alright, I'm just gonna let you guys know right now, this is probably going to be the most vulnerable you will ever see me on any video that I've ever made, and will probably ever make. So simply because, I'm making this from my dorm room at university. This is a complete first for me. Usually I'd want to put like a lot of production, or as much production value as possible into my videos, but I just want to be like as raw, as transparent, and as open as possible about things that have been going through, have been going through my head, what's to come in the future. I'm not necessarily feeling bad right now, but this is something I wanted to do because I think it would be mutually beneficial, not only for my mental health, but potentially for your guys' mental health, if any of you can relate to, what I'm going to talk about in today's video. And also, too, because we're getting into, like at university, we're getting into midterm seasons, and my midterm season in particular is definitely going to be a lot more challenging than it was last semester, so I'm going to be getting into more of like a more productive lifestyle, if you will, starting tomorrow. And so I kind of wanted to make this video kind of to say hello to a new chapter, if you will. So I'll waste no time. I think I've gone through everything I wanted to go to in this introduction. So we'll get her going. What's up, guys? It's your boy JP Giviner. Didn't expect my next video to be in my dorm room, but here we are. I just wanted to talk about my mental health. Different things. Okay. Like I've said, this is the most vulnerable you're ever gonna see me. Like, I would be cutting out so much shit right now. You're seeing the most vulnerable version of myself. But a lot of shit has been going on in my life that is like very different from what I experienced in my last semester. So I think the main thing for sure is just that my first semester of university, it was fucking awesome. Like, I felt like so alive pretty much the whole way through. I was so lively in the moment and like doing schoolwork and everything. And it felt pretty awesome. And this was specifically like at the start, and I felt like I had really peaked socially. It's something I never really expected because I've always been deep down, and I honestly still am deep down, a very introverted kid. I just have an extroverted personality in the sense that, like, I'm very outgoing, in your face, trying to make everyone happy and, just showcase the best version of myself regardless of how I feel. And so that's something I want to talk about. I have no order for how I'm going to say shit. This is, again, completely raw. That's one thing I want to talk about first is just, I guess, putting on a face, if you will. Because, like I said, in the first semester, I had an awesome time. One of the best times of my life. Probably the best time of my life, socially. Because, yeah. But this second semester has been a very different ride for me so far. Like, we're a month in now, and while I have had some incredibly high moments, some of the best moments of my life, I've also experienced a lot more negative moments, and that doesn't have to do with anyone in particular. It just has to do with myself and just getting in my head, and that's honestly the worst thing that can happen. It's like, I think I especially experienced this when I got COVID, and I got COVID in like the middle of January, and obviously, as a result, I had to quarantine for 5 full days. Keep in mind, I was basically already quarantined at this point, so I was just chilling in my room. But once I knew I had to quarantine, and keep in mind, at this point, I felt pretty much 100% ready to go, except for being a bit more tired. As a result, it was very easy to get in my head. Very, very, very easy. When you're not around anyone, like, you can't interact in person with anyone. I did not see a single person for basically a week. That was one of the toughest things I've had to go through mentally because I was already quarantining at this point, and I was already spending more time in my room than usual. And it kind of just brought me back to, some of the early stages of COVID that really fucked me up, especially after, all the progress I've made in my life. That was definitely something that really got to me. And, again, this is all over the place. I just want to try to be as open as possible and try to tell you guys, what's going on with me. Although I am feeling decent right now, personally. But I feel like, as a result of being in my room more often, it's given me a lot more time to think about myself, my goals, my aspirations, who I am, who I want to be. And, you know, I wish I could say I was thinking more positively about stuff, but most of the time I'm alone. It's like, unless I had just finished a workout, which the gyms were closed for all of January pretty much, so that was already a big blow for me. Other than that, like, I would mainly be thinking of stuff that wasn't really be beneficial to me to think about. It led to me napping. It led to me napping a lot more often. Not even as a way to get more sleep, literally just as a way to escape life. Literally, that's what I would do. Like, I would just freaking hop in here and just not even fall asleep. Like, I can't fall asleep quickly in this bed. I simply cannot. But I'll set a freaking timer for like 45 minutes, an hour and a half, just to literally escape reality and try to get these negative thoughts out of my head. But it only makes them worse because you're not doing anything to change it. And even then, you feel like you can't. I know I just spit out a lot of stuff right there. It might be powerful. It might not be. It might be a little all over the place. But what I'm trying to get at is, it's very tough for me to put on a face, especially as a YouTuber. You guys have almost, unless you're in my Discord server from time to time, it's like, you guys have never seen me in this situation. Usually I'm super energetic and I'm really, you know, lively in the moment, really looking forward to seeing, you know, what happens here, what's going to happen next. And I would show that in my videos, like by being super energetic and being super, you know, like ready to go. I'm so excited. And just, you know, put my heart into all my videos. You don't really see this side of me, and I dealt with this a lot when I was making videos. This is something that I honestly thought I escaped when I got to university in my first semester, but now that, you know, this second semester has definitely been a lot more different for me, this has definitely took a toll on me, and I've experienced a lot more lows this time around than I have in my entire first semester. And that's something I did not see coming at all, and sometimes it can be difficult to process, to say the least. I guess another thing, well, I mean, I basically hit all the points there that I really wanted to hit. But, you know, nah, fuck it, I'm not fully done yet. There's no shot. We gotta talk about drinking, because before my 19th birthday, I've never been drunk before. Like, I'm talking, like, last year, April 27th, when I turned 19. Like, I've never been drunk before until that point. That was a new experience for me. And even though I hated the feeling of being hungover the day after, it's like, I didn't really experience, you know, like, really partying, if you will. And so it's like, and ironically, this happened midway through my first semester, during midterm season. But, you know, once I got to experience, you know, the life of drinking, life of the party, and really making the weekend count, I wanted every second of it. I absolutely loved it. Like, I've ran, like, plenty of Mario Party games here. Like, and those have been the best Mario Party games I've ever played. You know, we'd get fucked up and everything, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I've had to spend more money, but, you know, I mean, look, if we're talking in the moment, every time I've partied here has been absolutely fucking amazing. There's no changing that. You can't change anything about, like, the past or anything. You can only move forward and think about the future and the present, and yeah. But that's what I wanted. That's why I wanted to bring this up, because as much as I enjoy it, and as much as it is an escape from reality, a good escape, not like fucking napping so much more often, like an actual good escape to, you know, make you feel more lively and happier, if you will. I feel like as the results, and this is something that I've brought up to a couple of my really close friends, it's like, as a result, I feel like my only excitements in, like, the near future is gonna be through drinking. And, you know, that's something that I never wanted to happen. It's something that I never expected to happen. Because I've only been drunk, like, 2 or 3 times before university. And so, that in itself was a huge change for me. And for better or worse, you could argue both. I think right now it's definitely for the worse, though, and that's what's really getting to me. I'm making this video to remind myself of this. I want to go back to this timestamp because we're entering the toughest set of weeks in school that I've ever gone through. Like, I have my first closed book calculus, or my first closed book math exam since early 2020. And this is university. This is calculus 2. Like, this is a whole new thing for me. And I'm going to have to put more effort into these next couple weeks than I've ever put into arguably anything in my life. And so, as a result, like, I can't see myself getting drunk or anything for, like, at least another 3 or 4 weeks. Maybe, and I don't even know. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit, just because, like, when it comes to drinking, you have to find a clear balance between that and your regular life. Because if you go off the deep ends, then you're drowning. And, like, when it comes to that, I feel like I don't want to say I've gotten close to that. I don't consider myself an alcoholic. And I don't even drink, like, that often compared to people who people who would not even consider themselves to be alcoholics, not even close. Because I usually do it either, like, once or twice a week, something like that. It's just a matter of how it goes in your head, because when it feels like it's the only thing I'm looking forward to in the week. I don't like that at all. It's the worst feeling. It really is. And I'm tired of it. Like, it's really tough to process for me to be honest. Like, I'm stuttering and shit. It's really tough for me to process, and you know, it's a bit of a struggle, to say the least. I do enjoy it. I love getting fucked up. I love having in the moment, having the time of your life, but it's the after, like, the day after. I mean, here's the thing. I don't even get hungover anymore. Like, I'm just a bit more tired the day after, and that's it. That's how it goes for me. But I mean more mentally. As I've talked about for the last couple minutes, it's more mental when it comes to drinking and whatnot. And that's something that, I've always been, ever since I lost weight, I've been the type of person to, want to step outside my comfort zone and, do the things that I know will be better for me, even if I have to give up something that I don't necessarily want to give up. And I feel like this is a situation where I have to do that as well. It's just like being willing to do that, And maybe it doesn't have to be forever. Although, admittedly, like, sometimes it feels like that's going to have to be the case. Like, I feel like, I don't even know. Like, when I think about drinking, it's like, yeah, I have some of the best moments ever, but it really makes you think so much about, is this helping you mentally in the long run? It's so hard to tell. Because every time I'll tell myself that, this is not good, I shouldn't do this, I also remind myself that, like, I subconsciously, or I don't even know what I'm saying, I also remind myself that, like, I feel like I need that escape. I feel like I need that. And I don't know, it's just, I've had amazing memories as a result, but I don't know, this is just getting in my head a little bit, and I don't know. Again, like, I'm feeling fine right now, like, admittedly, like, I'm not feeling horrible, like, obviously, I'm in the more vulnerable state, the most vulnerable state I've ever presented myself on YouTube, but I do feel fine. I do feel, like, fine, like, at this exact moment, but I do want to make changes in my life, I guess you could say. And I am going to make changes. Like, I'm waking up bare early tomorrow, and I'm going to work out in the morning. I'm going to do a shit ton of work, get caught up, make up for my blunders in the last couple weeks, mainly because of drinking and getting in my head, which were the main two things I wanted to touch on today. And really just trying to just better myself as a whole. I haven't put enough focus on myself really since getting to university. And I was just blinded by that in the first semester because of how much fun I was having as a result of not having basically any, or not much at all, in-person social interaction for a year and a half. that can take its freaking toll on you. And so it's like, I was just blinded. Really, that's how it was for me. I was just blinded. And I feel like now that, you know, like reality is starting to kick back in for me, and I'm really understanding, you know, like these feelings and their presence, and I don't know. It's just tough to think about. I definitely am not going to be the, hey, what's crack, it's your boy JP Gilder kind of guy in this video. I simply can't bring myself to do that. I don't want to put on a face. I need to tell you guys how it is. And hopefully, you know, you can relate to me in some way, because, I mean, I think this kind of topic, you know, I feel like it's really important to be open about mental health. You should never be insecure about it, although it's very easy to be insecure about it. I've been there. But I've been trying to be as open as possible. And I figured the only way, or like the best way to be open about it, is to open up to you guys, who you guys have only seen the good side of me. Unless you're in my Discord server and you've seen like the times where like I'd be feeling down, or like not uploading on a certain day and feeling like shit as a result. But if you've only known me for my videos, you have only seen the top, the peak for me. And really for me now, I'm showing you guys that I'm human, and I really hope that, you know, like, this video could, like, help you guys, that you can relate to me, or to anyone else, or to think that maybe, even if you can't relate to what I'm dealing with, that maybe something that you're dealing with, like, it's okay to be open about it, and it's okay to just try to open up about it. And try to, you know, be vulnerable to people. Because we all want to look tough. Subconsciously, we want to look tough. We want to look, you know, like we're at our best. And we feel like if we're vulnerable, we're weak. Subconsciously, that's simply a fact. And so, we never want to get to that point. But I feel like if you can find it in yourself to get to that point and really manifest it and try to turn it into something great, I might not be making sense, honestly, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you can bring it upon yourself to be open about what you're struggling with or what you're dealing with, there's most likely going to be a positive outcome out of it. Every time I've opened up to people, it's always led to me feeling better afterwards. And even if I'm not 100%, I know that I still have guidance, and I know that, you know, I have people I can rely on, people that I can appreciate, people that I can reach out to if I am feeling like shit. I figured that by making this video, you guys could also, you know, be filled in on, you know, what I'm going through, or what you might be going through and might not be willing to admit to yourself. But I guess I don't want to really go past 20 minutes, so I guess I'll close it out here, or like try to finish it off. After today, I'm going into one of probably the toughest set of weeks to get through my life, most likely. I think something like that. Physically, mentally, it's going to be tough, but we're going to power through it. We're going to give our full throttle and make sure that, you know, we're doing everything that we can to just get up there. I wanted to make this video just to motivate myself to get to that point, and I hope that maybe, even if you don't have the same kind of struggles that, like, I've gone through over the last couple weeks, couple months even, that maybe you have struggled in some way, because I feel like we're all, like, we've all got something to be kind of like sad about in our lives, if that makes any sense. But I think it's, if you can be open about it, or if you can, like, bring it upon yourself after watching this video to, you know, be more open about, you know, what you've gone through over the last little bit, then I promise you it'll be more worth it than anything in the world. Like, again, I've been more open to people than I ever have before, and even though I'm not, like, in, like, the best state possible, it's like, I feel like as a result of being more open, it's like, you feel like you're getting shit off, it's a big load off your shoulders, and you feel a lot better as a result, and you know what the progress you have to, or the steps you have to take to get somewhere. So anyways, I'll end it off there. I don't want to leave you, I don't want to talk to you guys for way too long. I hit all my points, so we'll finish off there at pretty much, or exactly the 20-minute mark. So until next time, Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and keep on giving her, bud.